Alright guys, let's get ready to vaccinate 13 Anatolian Shepherd Dog puppies. Let's do this. So as far as supplies go, I get everything through Amazon. Now, while we can at least. Who knows when they'll put the next federal guidelines on things, and they'll probably remove that freedom from us as well. But for now, we can still order stuff online. I used to go through Tractor Supply, and I would just do order pickup stuff with them. Curbside stuff, because that's the easiest, but you're not allowed to do that anymore. Can't do that stuff online anymore, but we still can through Amazon. So I just kind of stocked up on other stuff that I needed around the farm. I got some 3 ml syringes, I got some 5 ml syringes, I got some needles. So for today's intents and purposes, we are going to go with a 3 quiet you. We're going to go with a 3 ml syringe. Syringe, and what do we have here for needles? We'll do a 22 gauge inch long needle, and that's all we need for that. Next step is the actual vaccines themselves. There's all different companies you can order your vaccines from. I found the cheapest is Revival. I like their shipping time, it's quick. What else? I don't know. I just like them. Customer service is nice if you ever need anything. So this is what I use. You can see what is in these vaccines. It's a simple, what they call a 5-way. And these are your very first puppy dose of vaccines that you want to do. My immunization program, I do one at 6 weeks, another booster at 9 weeks. And then at 12 weeks is when they're due to have their first adult shots. Big boy, big girl shots. And that's really, by the time you get to that, that's really dependent on what you and your vet want to do. Some people like to really go hard on vaccines, and they'll put everything in there, including your Lyme's vaccines, all that stuff. Some people don't. They like to take a more laid back approach to vaccinating, so that's 100% up to you and what your vet chooses to do. But as far as puppy vaccines go, 6 and 9 weeks, I do that one. So while I'm busting open these boxes, let's talk about why I vaccinate my puppies at home. Well, one of the biggest and most obvious things is cost. If I were to take all 13 of my puppies to a vet at 6 weeks and then again at 9 weeks to be vaccinated, it would be hundreds of dollars each time to do it. It's insane. So I save my vet visits for things that I really need a vet for. So I've been doing this a really long time. Plus, being a nurse, I think, kind of helps out a little bit with this stuff too, knowing how to do it. And so it's just really a money saver and a time saver. It's a lot easier to do this stuff at home as opposed to having to load up 13 of these little monsters, or bring them to the vet, stress them out. There's just no point in having to do that when you can do it at home. I do all my vaccines at home for all species of animals on the farm. The only thing that you cannot give yourself is the rabies vaccine. So that has to be by a vet. You can buy it and you can administer it at home, but when it comes to legal purposes, it has to be done by a vet. And that's when you get all the paperwork and stuff from your vet, because God forbid if something were to happen and you have to go to court to show that your dog's been vaccinated against rabies, they're going to be like, okay, you give that at home, yeah, we're not buying it. You need proof. So rabies, you have to go to a vet for. So here's the syringes that I use. This is a 3 ml syringe. And then this needle, there's all different size needles that you can get as well. These vaccines are just sub-Q vaccines, which means they don't have to be IM or intramuscular. So when you think intramuscular, when we get vaccines, it's going to be in the shoulder, in your butt. For dogs, it's kind of the same thing. You'll see a lot of times in their hind end is where they get an intramuscular shot, but this doesn't have to be. It can be sub-Q. So anywhere basically that you can pinch in tent. I'll show you when I do the puppies later. I'll show you how to do it. It's really, really easy. So these needles are really easy. You just open up the one end. And this is called a lure lock. And you just take this and it twists on here. Super, super easy. So now let's talk about the actual vaccines themselves. Now they're all different. Some will come in one bottle. This particular kind that I buy, it comes in 2 separate things. So one vial has a powder in it, and then another vial has a liquid or your diluent in it. So what you do, super, super easy. So we're gonna toss some air into the vial that has the liquid in it, and we're gonna draw it up. Okay, then we're gonna put that vial aside because we're done with the liquid portion of it. So we have our syringe here with a diluent in it. Then we take our second vial with the powder, and you are going to inject the fluid from in here with the powder, and you're gonna mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it, and that powder gets reconstituted. Then you pull it back in here, and there is your vaccine. You want to look in here, make sure we're getting everything out. Boom shakalaka. You have your vaccine in here. Now before you get it, you want to make sure that you push your plunger to get rid of all the air. That's it, you're good to go. The second thing though that you want to remember is I save the labels from both vials, both the diluent and the powder, because if something ever happens and there's like a recall for something, like a year from now or 6 months from now, they're like, oops, we have a recall on a vaccine. You can go back and look at the lot number, and you can look at the expiration date and make sure that everything is good to go. And I make sure that all the new puppy owners make sure that you give records of their vaccines. Very, very important. Super easy, guys. Don't let this be intimidating to you. Okay, guys, we're back. So here, my little girl that's going to show us how to do this is Miss Pink. There she is. She's so sweet. Okay, so here's our vaccine. Remember, we're going to take the plunger, make sure all the bubbles are at the top. We're going to push up till that fluid is right at the very tippy top. If there's a couple bubbles, thank you, it's not going to be the end of the world. Okay, we're not putting this into a vein where if you had air in it, it would be. So, yes, thank you, love. So, again, this is a subcutaneous shot or a sub-Q, which means just under the skin. Easiest and best place, I hate licking, no licking. Easiest place to do this on a puppy, especially, is right the scruff of that neck where mom picks them up. Right there. Look at all that. Look at all that. Look at all that. Right? So, take the cap off. We're going to grab like this, that scruff. That makes what we call a tent. You're going to aim for that. You don't have to go deep because you don't want it to come out the other side. Boom, done. Rub, rub. Put the cap back on so you don't stab yourself. And you're done. Don't be intimidated by this stuff, guys. Don't let it scare you, okay? Especially if you had an oops litter. People love to judge breeders or people that have an oops litter. If you have an oops litter and you can't afford to be taking these puppies to a vet to have their vaccines done, I would much rather have them, instead of feeling ashamed for the oops, I would much rather have somebody reach out and say, look, I had this accidental litter. What do I do? How do I take care of them? And how do I get them to find good homes? I would rather them learn how to do this stuff and save money. If they can afford to do this, do this. Reach out, ask for help, educate yourself. The more you know, the better. Not sure what just happened there, but teach yourself how to do this stuff. Don't be intimidated by it. It's not scary. It's not terrible. And could she be sweeter? No, not really.